Okay, welcome back everybody to Laguna Beach Lawn Bowling Club for the Southwest Open Women's Fours for 2025. We had a nice game this morning, which was the third flight semi, and now we're having the second flight semi here. This will be between Rose Selby, Becky Rinaldi, Cheryl Barkovich, and Betsy Larison. They were the number 6 seed, finished 2-2 yesterday. They lost their first game this morning. And versus Ann Nunes, Janice Bell, Rachel Markison, and Candy DeFazio. They were the number 2 seed, 3 wins and a tie yesterday, and their first loss came in their first game today to Santa Barbara Cindy's Cook's team, and that came in an extra end. So that was kind of right next to ours. I think it was 2 over from the rink we were on, but that went an extra end. So quite the battle there. So this game will be 14 ends. And hopefully this will be a good one for you. So we're just finishing up the we have the seconds going in their second trial end right now. But big thanks to Aero Bowls USA for sponsoring us and all of our broadcasts, the Southwest Division broadcast for the women. Very thank you to Aero Bowls. Same line every time. Thank you to Aero Bowls for their sponsorship. It's much appreciated. And for those of you who are tuning in, if you haven't done so already, it'd be really helpful if you were to subscribe. Just click that little notice. You should see it somewhere on your screen that says subscribe. That would be a big help for us to show that Aero Bowls is getting the reach that we promised them to, and helps us get more sponsors or continued sponsorship from Aero Bowls in the future so we can keep bringing you broadcasts like this. So thank you very much for your assistance. And once again here in the booth, we've got Steve Nermontes on the cameras, Gary Barnes, our producer, doing all the technical work, and I'm Scott Roberts doing the announcing for you. I think our Secret Service man, Gary, he'll head for the hills after helping us set up. And I know Joan Nermontes was assisting with the setup, as well as I think Kelly Warren's going to be running around trying to give us scores of the championship flight. The two games going on there, and we'll try and keep you updated with that. Also, thank you to Southwest Division's immediate past president, Gio Conti, for assistance in setting up as well. All right, so we got the devices going right now. Quite the upset, actually, for, anytime you have a world champion like Ann Nunes and with the solid bowlers, pretty much all Team USA people, multiple times over, with Janice Bell and Rachel Markison and Candy DeFazio, who's now transferred and is one of the women's selectors. That's a really superpowered team. But quite the feather in the cap for Cindy Cook's team to take them out. All right, ladies are shaking hands. All right, our first report from Kelly Warren, our treasurer and now roaming reporter. The third flight will be between the winner of the game we saw, which was Heather Stewart and her team versus Flo Wright. That's the third flight final. The other matches we have is Joanne Hedgespeth and Mare Beath, and Cindy Cook versus Melanie Visner. So those are the two going for the gold medals. That's a championship flight. And then in this second flight semi, Selby and Nunes, and the other one is Hall and Santos. So I know that Kelly will be trying to feed us scores through the day, especially the championship flight, so we can get an idea of who it is that you get to see. But this should be a real treat for you all to be able to see this. I always like fours. Fours is it's a game I like. I think it's more of a team game. You can't really have one person just kind of trying to drive it, and it's much better. Anybody can kind of ham and egg it. Usually the team that's hamming and egg it and playing better as a team, more cohesive, is the one that's usually winning. It's usually not a single player. I mean, it's difficult, especially in fours. It's difficult with two bulls to just have it just totally controlling the match. Being able to, either draw over and over and over or convert over and over and over again. It happens from time to time. It's usually very limited as to how long it can happen. You really need to have a good team effort. You need to have your front end getting bulls in the head. And then your back end either adding, protecting, etc., converting if need be. So, all right, we're going to get started now. So this will be Betsy Larson. She'll be setting the jack, and we'll be underway in this first end of match for 14. There must be winners, so it doesn't necessarily have to go 14 ends. So, we did not have yesterday. So yesterday, in case you missed it, the ladies were kind of battling drizzle and some rain. And I think the first game especially had to be halted twice. So, all right, Betsy looks like she's gone pretty long. I think the mat is pretty much right on the tee, and the jack's on the tee. So, I guess it's not right on the tee because we wouldn't be having to adjust the mat, I would think, if we didn't. All right. All right, first bull in the match. So if, again, with going to tee here, it's always an interesting challenge. Betsy seems to be up to it with the first one. This is a really nice start. Very, very good bull. This will be Candy DeFazio. As there is Candy limping around, I haven't had a chance to talk to her and ask her, but it looks like she's having some problems with at least one of her legs right now. So it looks like that's not too bad considering. She seems to be kind of have a significant limp going on, so not the usual what I see from her as far as just moving around. So hopefully she's okay. Again, it was a little short. And they're choosing to have Betsy switch. Again, I'm not a big fan of this. I think she'd be better off just trying to the same hand. She might have the same weight, but then the line's going to be whatever you get. And as you can see, the line is pretty far off. Candy will play the same thing. Probably see if you can make a correction. You can see her trying to, just looks a little labored, the delivery. If you watch Candy at all before, it's definitely not the normal. She wanted to add some weight, and she has. See if it stays up. Yep, no problem. There's a little bit of a dedge patch where Rose is standing. So it's kind of slowing things up right there. You can kind of see it on your screen too. This is Cheryl Barkovich, CB here. These like late purple balls. I'm going to stick with the forehand again. None of these ladies seem to be having any problems getting it down here. It's a pretty good opener there. This is Rachel Markuson. She's got these black bowls here. She's got a very nice delivery. We're the newer members of Team USA. Really good bowl there. Really good bowl there. Excellent. This is a good opportunity for Rachel to kind of just absorb from the three really Team USA veterans, Candy, Janice, and Ann. And Cheryl just wanted to drop a little weight, not too much, and this is kind of the tendency to do. She'd been better off being just a yard through, the overcorrection. Now she's, good 5 feet short. Rachel just wants to try and do the same kind of thing. She's holding shot. Just do it again. Not far away. I like this a lot. Yeah, another good bowl. Very nice. Two excellent bowls there by Rachel. All right, this is Becky Rinaldi. The green bowls down a couple, so definitely don't want to be short here. Yeah, I think she's. I can't quite tell. I think it went all the way in the ditch. Might be just on the back, just on the end there. Can't quite see. All right, here's Janice Bell. Yeah. I was waiting for someone to be way short and to be in JB. And both these ladies need to make an adjustment. This is very nice by Becky. This looks very close here. She's giving it a good look. Good bowl. Probably still going to be third, but it's still a really good bowl. I don't expect Janice to miss twice. I don't think she liked it. Didn't look like she got it away very smooth. Looked like that was a little off for her. The delivery seemed a little strange. And just kind of missed her line. I mean, the weight was pretty good. Just kind of missed her line. Let's have the skips. This game should move a little faster if it just, in the last game we had the vices staying in the head, but it looks like both of these teams are opting to have their vices just stay on the bank and just have the skips, so we'll just have the one crossover as opposed to two. And Rose should be first to go with the red bowls. See what she's going to have to do. Yeah, I think it's pretty crowded on the backhand, so I'm thinking she's sticking with the forehand just to see if she can get a nice draw in there. Probably down a couple, it looks like. Giving it a pretty good look here. She is not far away. Is it going to make it all the way? That's a great bowl. I think she did it. It's interesting what they're trying to do. See if she's going to try and draw into it, but probably going to, yeah, I think Janice was talking to her to come the other hand. Playing the backhand, see if she can come crosshead into Rose's bowl. Either to be clean, probably wanted to be a yard over, would be ideal, and just either chip that one out or get to the jack. Just missed it. Just hit the outside half instead of the inside half, but a pretty good effort. Rose is still, she's holding, but she doesn't have a whole lot of help in the head. Anne's got probably, Anne might switch over to forehand, but it depends. Might look a little bit better, so let's see what Rose got here. You made the great shot now. You don't want to turn it over accidentally. It's kind of one of these touchy shots. It's okay to miss it short by a foot or two. Yeah, this is nothing wrong with this. If anything, it kind of get in her way. Let's see what Anne's going to do. If Anne's going to try it again. I think she'll be a little more forceful. I think she's got a couple seconds. She can afford to hit the jack. I think she's got decent position back, but really wanted to try and get that ball out. And it's got to have a little bit of a bend so we can get past these front ones. Not quite. Chip that one over. Yeah, just the one down. So Rose Selby with a great draw. Gets first blood here. Go 1-0 after one of a scheduled 14 ends. Pretty solid bowling for the first end. I think we saw a lot more shaky bowling, but you would kind of expect that from. So Rose's team was the 6th seed, and Anne's team was the 2 seed after yesterday's matches, which was just more than a little bit of a strange day. It looks like they're not quite going tee to tee, or at least not trying to. Looks like Betsy's got the mat up about a yard. It's kind of a couple yards short. So this is more like a medium length. All right, Betsy's first. Yeah, not bad, a couple yards behind. Oh. We're trying to, having a little issue with the switcher here, so we still got the kind of odd screen in the view, so I'll do my best I can to try and paint the picture for you. So Candy came a little bit short on her forehand. Let's see, Betsy gonna stick with the backhand. She was about 5 feet behind or so. She's gonna try again. There we go. We got our cameras working. Technical guys are always on top of things, and it's always something. Candy looking to add a little bit here. See if she can float it around. Yeah, there's a good ball there. Nice ball there by Candy. Like that. It's a decent position. To Cheryl Barkovich. Still a lot of room to draw. Coming in her backhand. And pretty much the open side with Candy having that front short ball there. It's like a pretty decent ball by CB here. Yeah, that's good. Shot drawn. A couple of feet behind at most. All right, here's Rachel. Two really good balls in that first end. Just a little bit through. Got word that Joanne Hedgesmith's team has scored the first point against Mare Beath. Like I said, our roving reporter and treasurer, Kelly Warren, is out. We need to get him some more hobbies. Cheryl, again with the overcorrection, kind of an unnecessary correction. It's see that too much, where you see some, she's 2 feet through and it's shot. Why not just do it again, as opposed to trying to take some weight off and end up taking, instead of 2 feet, you take off 2 yards. Now you're short. She had a great road. And Rachel just needs a very small correction at most. Even she overcorrected a little bit. All right, now Becky. This looks very forceful. She's not short with this one. Just way too heavy here. Pretty much drew the tee. All right, here's Janice. Just even a little touch on Rachel's would be good. It just kind of floats around. It's a good effort, though. Don't know if it's quite the shot. Still think Cheryl's one. That light purple bowl, I think, is still shot. And Becky looking to definitely take her foot off the gas here and try and slide in this little pocket underneath the black ball and right on in. Even hitting the inside half is helpful. Still a little heavy. Not bad ball, though. Okay, it's having a look. Right. Janice doesn't really need to change much, more just to line anything else. Don't want to, and just a little bit of the overcorrection again. A little short and narrow. They're all having a look, but I think Cheryl's holding with that purple, the light purple bowl that's just behind. Again, everything's always a little wacky with the camera angles, as opposed to standing right there. I haven't seen any of the ladies make a signal. All right. Still room to draw, though. A lot of room to draw. Nice little path. And ladies are trying to find us, with so many ladies trying to find a spot where they're not in the way of the camera and yet not in somebody's line. So there's Rose. Pretty good effort here. Oh, interesting. Kind of pushed that one a little further away, but I wonder if they're still holding. Janice that you see on the screen, even though it says DeFazio, that's what she said. She said everybody, like they had Candy shirts that she kind of gave to everybody. So one's Candy, one's DeFazio, just so they could all match that they all had red shirts. All right, there's the former world champ, Ian Nunes. Good weight, just hung on a little bit. Becky's having a look to see. No, 2 down. I think they chipped that bowl and kind of pushed it out. That's what I was wondering. She was just a little heavy. But and again, I wasn't real sure who was holding in the first place, but she didn't move it by much, but it's enough, I think, to bring the Rachel's 2 bowls in. So Rose really needs to kind of take a little bit of weight off, and I don't think she's done it. She's trying to manually apply a brake unless she can hit the jack. Just slides by. Lands in a nice position where she can afford to just kind of have a nice draw, and I think her last one was probably in the count. I think her last one was second shot. Just do the same thing, stay high, doesn't need to change anything. Just do the same bowl, slide underneath the black. Come to that back purple and just sit right there. I expect no less from Ann. It's a great bowl. It's probably 3, but I'm going to double check and see. It's a little confusing because Janice and Ann have not exactly the same bowl, but pretty close. 3 it is. So 3 for Team Nunes. They'll take a 3-1 lead after 2 wins in a scheduled 14 end game. Once again, our thanks to Arrow Bowls. Arrow Bowls, same line every time. They also have that innovation of having half sizes, which we talked about in our previous game. So you never know, am I a 2, am I a 3, to help, get you extra comfort is to have half sizes. Am I a 4, am I a 5, 3 or 4? They have half sizes, they have 3.5s, 2.5, so kind of an innovation, and they'll do any logo that you want. So again, thanks for your sponsorship, Arrow Bowls. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed yet, we really appreciate it if you just hit that subscribe. And if you turn on notifications, then you'll find out when it is we're going to be broadcasting. You get that information, as well as it helps us with our stream. So again, it shows the value to Arrow Bowls and any other sponsors that we might get over time. So thank you again to Arrow Bowls, and thank you for watching. There's Candy DeFazio. So getting the mat, they've now gone shorter. Probably a short medium length here, and Candy is Candy. Just has a nice solid foot behind bowl. Betsy here. Well, I'd say great bowl by Betsy. 2 good openers here. And then again, it might not be ideal for Candy to play that same hand again because you could chip the bowl. But again, with Candy just threw a stunner, so why would you have her do anything different? Just play it again. If anything, she's probably going to be a little heavy behind. Yeah, definitely have Betsy do the same thing. If anything, she can. I would even no shorter would be the only thought I would say. It's just you can play it up to it, play through it if you want. Just came a little narrow. Rachel's gonna come to the backhand, which I think is probably the smarter play now, and just trying to slide underneath those 2 bowls. Needs to make it all the way. All right. Just a little short, yard short. And it's going to force Cheryl to go over to the forehand. She almost dropped it a little bit. Usually when you drop it, and it's going to come short and narrow. Yeah, and that's what she's done. And timing was a little off. All right, see if Rachel can make the adjustment. Probably adding at least a yard would be good for her. Got that her own ball on the running surface, so it should transfer the weight evenly. 1 yard on, one should transfer all the way through. There she comes. Bing, and oh, it just fell the wrong way. Good shot, though. See if Cheryl can finish the stroke on this one. That looked a little bit better. Did have a little bit of a bounce to it, but yeah, so she's still going to miss it narrow and short also there. All right, here's Janice. Yeah, well done. And again, Janice just been played so long. She's just no fear and just nice and confident stroke. And that's exactly what you want from your vice center forwards game. Is somebody's going to be playing up and into the head, not somebody who's playing with fear. Janice is definitely that. Here's Becky. Looks like she missed the line as well. She might get a little helper off Cheryl's ball, but she was very narrow. All right, here's Janice again. Probably just wants to do something similar. She can afford to be a little narrow on it. Just followed right in a row. Just 2 solid bowls. Great bowls by Janice. Makes a little bit of a bigger target for Cheryl if she wants to get a little frisky here. Kind of got those 3 in a row. Yeah, I think that's what she was trying. You can see those 3 bowls are all the way. And 2 purples from Janice and then Candy's right there. Curious to see what Ann will try. She might be wanting to come cross-head into the pink. She could do that if she wants to, kind of just chip it out, because I don't think she can get to it very easily on the backhand. She could try and sit into that little pocket there. I can see they're playing through. I mean, obviously she could always just draw 2. She could put one behind. Again, this was the upside of having a lot of balls in the head like our team has done, is that you can see what it is. She's got lots of options of what she feels like doing. I think she's just going to go for a forehand draw here. I mean, they're holding 3. There's no need to get crazy with anything. Yeah, she even tucked it away a little bit. I don't know if she necessarily wanted to touch the jack, but it's really kind of putting Rose to a test of whether you want to. I mean, this is, if you've got a drive, this is kind of setting up to a drive head because they've got Becky with the best back. Candy's got one back there, which is very helpful. I mean, even when we're saying that she threw her second one, her first one was very good, Candy's ball, but then her second one was behind. And now because she had something behind, it let everybody else just kind of draw to the head, draw to the head. And now they still have some back coverage. So Team Nunes has now got 4 pretty close, all next to each other. And it's really almost very difficult to try and draw this. I mean, it's basically almost, I don't want to say wedge, but it's really in there tight between those 2 purple balls there. And definitely no points for being short on this one. Yeah, and this is not what you want. She'd be better off putting it in the ditch. You've really got to be all the way through here. So. All right, Ann looking like probably doing the same kind of thing. She could come all the way up to the pile of 4 bowls, and it's even a natural little rest. She could play it like as if it was 2 feet through, and just because it's going to hit that pile and just kind of stop. Should be a pretty easy draw for Ann. Just needs to get inside the pink, and she's done that. Probably 5 now. I think Rose is, I mean, this is the issue, if you want to say it, with, she's an excellent, excellent drawer, but sometimes you need to play with some weight if you're skipping. So let's see if she can do it here. And I just don't think it's one of her strengths. She's an excellent draw bowler, but, you know, that's not that close. It'll come. And she's relatively new, but new to skipping too. She's, I think, mostly been doing the front end. I mean, she's very, very skilled, as you saw from the first couple ends, but needs to get that weighted shot down, because that was a pretty big head. That was a pretty big target to hit. She came short with the first one, and then the second one just missed the line. And now it's going to cost them. They're down 4 at least. And obviously some great drawing by Nunes' team, Janice, Candy, I mean, the whole team. I mean, Rachel was solid, and she was the worst one of the bunch. And she had 2 great bowls. 5 it is. So commanding 8-1 lead after 3 ends. And even something like, you know, Candy's first bowl was great, and her second bowl was, you know, a miss, but she missed the right way. She missed behind the head. She was a couple yards, and then that freed it up for everybody else. Rachel could draw, Janice could draw, Ann could draw. Nobody had to worry about the back. Nobody had to worry about covering, because Candy happened to have it with her second one. Sometimes it just, you have to be aware of it, but sometimes you get it naturally. That's why it's better just kind of keep drawing through and drawing behind the head. All right. Well, Kenny's got the mat, you know, just a little over mat, like, but past the tee, and kind of get back to this little shortish length here. And you can see her just kind of, she's laboring a little bit. And just I've been watching her walk around today, and she just kind of got a limp. I just don't know what it is, and don't want to speculate, but she's definitely not herself. And here's Betsy. Yeah, a couple yards through. I think Candy got this one away a little bit better. Yeah, she just wanted to make sure she got through. All right, here's Betsy trying to make a correction here. Yeah, pretty good bowl there. A little short, but she's got the shot. All right, let's see. Get some other scores. So in the other second flight semi, we got Hall leading Santos 2-1 after 3. In the Beath Hedgespeth match, that's 1 each after 2. And Visner's up 2-1 over Cook. That's where we are with the other matches going on. All right, Rachel came up maybe a yard short. Room for Cheryl to draw. See if she can get around Rachel's. Right in a little pocket there. No, a little short. See if both these ladies can make the correction. Nice adjustment there by Rachel. Missed her line, but made the good correction on her weight. Let's see if CB, if Cheryl can just add a yard here, get all the way around. Just needs to float it past her own. Give him this little gap, a little inside half. Nope, didn't get the nudge there. She would have just had just a little tick off Patsy's. I think it would have helped her, but she played it through. Janice. And then, yeah, hit. Another good bowl by Janice. And again, playing it nice and positive, playing through, making use of the bowls that are there. You know, exactly what you want from a vice. Here's Becky. All the way down. Got a little edge. Cut it to 1. Good bowl by Becky. And Janice can afford to still be positive. She can hit on her own and it'll pump Becky's right on out of there. Doesn't want any jack movement that you can help. But again, you're just thinking a draw. Just a nice, firm, solid draw. She's got Rachel. She can hit in front. Oh, she ended up hitting Cheryl's. Just took a little bit too much off. Didn't really need to take anything off. But and Becky just needs a small adjustment. Just trying to draw, hit the inside half of that shot bowl would be ideal, I think. Better to just kind of nudge hers and have her be the one that's replacing her own. She's going to miss this narrow. Yeah, missing the whole head here. Weight was good, I think. Yeah, maybe a bowl short, that's all. Crossover for the skips here. Again, it just makes life so much easier for, usually only once you put your skip to the test every once in a while. If you have to do it every single end, it just, it starts to get difficult. Looks like Anne's going to go on her forehand here. It's interesting. She's got kind of 2 away bowls on that side. I'm curious what she's thinking. I wonder if she just sees a gap or if she's just playing a position bowl. Trying to get between the pink and the purple. She just floats it around. Well, she was going for position. It's not a bad position bowl there. Just kind of blocked. You could see everything on that side. There was that green, the pinks, and then that purple the whole way. So I think she was trying to, because the natural shot for Rose is to do a backhand, and if she were to pick up the jack and drag it to that spot, then it's 5. So I think she was just trying to, it's one of the things we look for is trying to find like a triangle or a square or something that our opponents can move a jack to and just try and get in the middle of that space. And I think that's what she was trying, and she succeeded. So here's Rose. She's pretty narrow on that hand, but you can see she can afford to get another yard. She's a little short too. Well, Anne's played the position bowl now. Now she's going to go back to the backhand and draw. And again, that's kind of one of the issues when you're playing one hand and then the other hand. You don't really have a, it's the educated guess with your first bowl, and then you're trying to adjust with your second. You kind of took that away by offering to do the position bowl. So now let's see if Rose can make the adjustment, get on a better line, add a little weight. Yeah, I think Rose is just coming up a little too high. Overcorrection here. All right, so it's 1 more for Nunes. So it's 1 more for Nunes and friends. So they'll go up 9-1 after 4. Gary's been called away to do a measure, I think. So we'll catch up our scoreboard here in a minute. Or Steve going to try it? Oh, he's going to switch the cameras for us. Look at you. You're a magician, Steve. And speaking of which, Candy with the stunner there. Front toucher, great ball. Gary's back. Did you get called for a measure? Yeah.
The umpire in chief I had to measure for.
Yeah, somebody's got to do something. Oh yeah, again, I had to do it well. Nice effort here by Betsy. I like this weight, just a little narrower. I mean, it's clearly a jack or bowl shot for her. Kenny, looking to do something similar. Don't mind if she even played the jack or bowl shot just so that she could, but she just kind of, again, just kind of hippity-hoppity there. I really would have been preferred for her to be behind, something to either catch, and again, if she could have tucked the jack behind or at least finished behind, that'd be good, but she did a great first bowl. And Betsy trying the jack or bowl shot again. It's okay. Don't mind that weight. I'd like to see Rachel see if she can do it. She just kind of carry it around behind. Definitely don't want to be short here since you know that they're trying to, I mean, with Betsy and Cheryl, they don't have any fear. They'll play this jack or bowl shot all day long. Rose with a good position. Nice little cover there of those two. I like that. And technically second shot. See if Cheryl can pick this up. Again, you're wanting to play this probably like a yard through at least. Nice little jack or bowl shot. Trying to play through the head, see if she can come on the forehand, either take the jack and clear it through, or hit the bowl and replace it. Just a touch short. Interesting for Rachel. I would personally just do the same thing. Yeah, yeah. And talking her into the right shot, I think Rachel was concerned that that ball was in her line. It very much is, and if anything, it's a helper. And she can't push it in further for shot. That'd be really unlucky. Better for her to just play the same thing and just like drop a couple feet is all. Take this right around the corner. Just took a little too much off of it. Don't think it's quite second, but it's another ball in the head. Cheryl should be, again, playing this through. She's, didn't even reach the head. She got a solid second, but she really needs to be a little more aggressive, I think, with this one. She's got two back balls she can make use of. Again, jack or bowl should be the proper shot here. Just come a little narrow. And touched Rachel's, but didn't move it. Here's Janice. Again, I'd really like to see him just kind of tuck that ball, just come underneath that light purple, come to the jack or the bowl and just kind of tuck it around the corner. Just a little short. All right. Again, it's still there. It's still there for a jack or bowl shot. Just when it come through and they got the two catchers. If you can draw it to where Rose is standing, for example, then and get the jack, then it'd be three for them. A lot better than trying, kind of nibbling at it and going short. And pretty good shot there by Becky. Got a little fortunate, but again, that's one of the things with that same weight, even by being that narrow, she kind of got a little lucky and hit the bowl and it kind of rocked around the corner. But again, that's one of the good things. That was an option, plan F or something. So now it's one down and they don't have a lot of numbers in the back. So I think you still want to try and pop it if you can because they do have Rachel's behind there. See, that's pretty good weight by Janice. She could hit it with that weight, and you're just, because that jack is almost pretty much right next to the green bowl. Just to pop it and have it roll to the black would be ideal. That's what they would want. And now Rose is trying to prevent that by having Becky draw all the way around. I think Becky should be playing through the light purple bowl on the left. That's her own teammate's bowl. She can either chip that in, she can push it around, because you know what Anne's going to do. She's going to try and pop that green and move that jack back. This is a pretty good effort. Maybe a little heavier than you want. I mean, I think ideally she'd want to be between the green and the black bowl. That's where I think what the ideal position would have been. So she was about 3 yards too heavy. So I think you'll see Ann. She could play really either hand. Wouldn't shock me if she went her forehand, because she could hit either one of those balls and it'll have the same effect. And those two balls are kind of leaning on each other. And with the action on the green ball, knocking the jack, the idea is to hit it to the black ball, have that jack loosen. So I think hitting it with like at least a yard over would probably be good. I mean, she could always just draw and just eat the one. I mean, when they got a 9-1 lead, it's not the end of the world, but it's going to be hard for it to get worse for them. Yeah, see, I think that's the kind of weight you want. And then she kind of took away some of the home run with the pink balls with that weight. That's, again, part of this game is knowing how to miss. I mean, if you're going to miss, how are you going to miss? And she really wanted to have the good weight, and she just missed on the line. But now it's gotten some value for her. So now Rose is asking Becky for a foot to try and draw. She can hit the inside half of that purple ball there and get in for a second. Or even coming gently into the green, whereas Ann's trying to hit it with like a yard plus of weight. If Rose gets to it and just kind of draws to it, then that's a good shot for them. All right, here's Rose. Just wants to turn that corner. And I think she just hasn't taken enough grass again. Pretty good draw weight, though. All right, Ann had a pretty good line for the center line, so I think she wants to draw across the head so that she gets that jack action. And it's going to be hard for it to be worse than one with that kind of weight. And she's already the one down now, so she'll give it a go. All right, just kind of float around. Again, good weight again. It just kind of stayed out on her. I think Rose's weight was good. Now they just need to try and just kind of try and have a little draw there. See if she can take the grass. Not bad. It's going to make it all the way. It's close. Very close here. Oh, just floated behind. Not quite enough. Nice effort, though. But it's they'll get on the board again. One more for Team Selby. And they'll cut a little bit into the lead. That's one bite of the elephant. And they're down 9-2 after 5 ends in this 14-end match. Southwest Open 2025, Southwest Women's Open. Fours, second flight semifinal. And we're 5 ends down of a scheduled 14. Betsy opted to leave the mat about a mat length over the tee and kind of go medium length. Again, they haven't dropped 3 ends in a row, and I mean, I think for the whole not drawing as well, I think they'd have been better served to pull that mat up a good, either do one or the other, go back to tee, or pull that mat up to change it, because they're very much getting outplayed and they really need to change something, or else this thing's going to get away from them. But they have to just kind of stick the same, and so we'll see what happens. And Betsy's about 4 or 5 feet short, and Candy's about 2 feet short. See if Betsy can switch it over, I think, here. Nope. Forehand, see if she can get around everything and add the weight. And it's going to just nudge hers. I slowed it down a little bit and put her about a yard behind. I just need a small correction from Candy. Playing through and ball would be the ideal thing. If she hits it, great. If she floats it around, so be it. Just needs to really add at least a yard to this. All right. Here's Cheryl. Again, trying to play this hand. Needs to really pop up that pink bull. Yeah, just a little short again.
The statue.
There's Rachel. Again, just a little short. Got 3 of them there. Don't need any more. All right, here's Cheryl. Really wants to play through and around these bulls. And just missing. All right, see. So in the couple other scores, full right has got a 4 in the 3rd end, so they're up 4-3 now after 3 ends. Melanie Visner is up 4-2 after 4. And Mare Beath and Joan Hesbeth is 2-2 after 4 ends. Great bull there by Rachel. That's, again, what the great players can do is just make a small correction like that. So she just added a yard, put it in a great position. Becky's probably needs to be positive here, and she's got no fear. She's very good suited for her vice. Trying to get to that shot bull. I think she got it. Yep. And they're still down a bunch, but at least there's a little bit of room. She could have popped her owns there, but it's just the head is not set up very nicely for a Selby and team. It's set up very nicely for Nunes because they're holding and they've got that hen blocked off. Yeah, good bull there by Janice. There's just not a lot of room. I mean, basically, I think what they should be playing is crosshead. I think hopefully that's what Rose is telling her. She should be coming crosshead underneath those front bulls. Either getting to the jack or coming to that front bull there and trying to get it, because it might be in the draw line, those 2 bulls that they've got short. But you don't want to be playing the other hand and just playing through and into those bulls. So this really needs to be kind of crosshead, I think. I'm going to get just underneath these bulls. She gave them plenty of room. Let's see how her weight is. If it makes it all the way and it stops, it's a pretty good bull here. There it is. That's a great bull there by Becky. That's what they needed. Again, it's the line to the jack maybe is not always the best. The main thing is to draw into the shot. And she just went crosshead, avoided the 2 front bulls to get there. Janice can afford to be positive. Kind of jack her bull shot. She's got a back bull behind. That Rose is there because of the chip out that Becky did with her first. And again, a nice draw path by Janice with a toucher, back toucher. Great shot there. It's nothing better than that, where your opponent draws 1 a foot and you draw 1 6 inches. Yeah, Rose and company, I mean, they're just, down 7 already. They really put themselves in a hole with that 3 and a 5 in consecutive ends. And that just is making it hard, especially against such a great drawing team with many years of international experience. I think Rose is trying to come through on the forehand, be underneath those 2 bulls, and then see if she can either just kind of get some action. I think we'd be positive. You're down 1, either come off, hit the jack, hit the shot bull. She's not far away. Just get some kind of action. If you're down 1, you kind of got to be up and you got to change it. And they don't really have a good draw, and and that's a tough draw. I mean, what Janice did was pretty incredible to draw it in that situation to that. Be interesting to see what Ann tries. I could see her trying to come the other hand and trying to pop all those up, but she doesn't want any jack movement either. Her back in pretty good shape there. Yeah, she's just going to try and do the forehand. You can see her trying to come crosshead and just kind of trying to Becky's bull. It's probably the best play, I would think. She's got that little wall of all those bulls of hers or Becky's, and just making sure she comes narrow. But she needed the weight. Yeah, I think that was the idea. She just needed the weight. All right, Rose had good weight. She just didn't hit it, that's all. And she wasn't far away. Just a small correction. All right, here we go. Really got to turn here. Really got to turn here. It's going to get wrecked. Yeah, it was kind of short anyways. Well, Ann's holding one. I think she can get, if she can get Becky's out, she'd have a big number. They don't really need it, but it's there for her. Yeah, she's going to try it. That's definitely not short. It's not going to do anything, I don't think. It's going to go all the way back. Should just be the one. They're all double checking, but it looks like they're going to measure it. But I think Ann was pretty confident that it was one. I mean, if Ann could have hit that, I think it was good for 4 or 5. So I think she felt like it was worth it. Oh, down one. A little bit of a surprise, I would have thought from the angle I would have been. But it's one more for Selby. Interesting with the way Rose was playing it, because Rose was playing that pretty aggressively herself. So, but it's one more for Selby, so they take another bite of the elephant. It's 9-3 after 6. This match go for 14. Once again, a thank you to Arrow Bulls for their sponsorship today. Same line every time. Betsy's sticking with that same length. They're going to go a little bit longer with the jack, though. It's pretty much T to T. I think that's going to stop. Yeah. Right in front of us. Again, it's both teams have won 3 ends out of the 6, but it's just those big numbers that Team Nunes got with 3 and a 5 in the second and third ends. It just is, making this a big difference in the game. Nice opener by Betsy, just 2.5 feet behind. And now Candy. Really good opener here by Candy. Yeah, pretty good there. Yeah, foot and a half short. There's Betsy again. And the same thing is probably fine from her. Yeah, very similar. Nothing wrong with that. Candy, I think, would be well served to just kind of play through her own bull. Ideally, just out a yard. You're either hitting your own, you're popping it up, or you're coming around behind it if you miss. Another bull in the head, both on the short side, but another bull in the head. Kind of, and actually taking away both draw lines, which is interesting. So it's kind of making, kind of forcing them, Team Selby, into the right shot, which is to play it positive and through. And Cheryl just wants to slip that ball if she can get to the jack. Oh, she just hit it square. Well, unlucky. All right. So apparently, Mayor Beath has 2 touchers in the 5th end to get 2 points and take a 4-2 lead over Joanne Hedgepeth in the championship fight. We'll see one of those teams later after this one. Here's Rachel Markuson. Trying to slide underneath here. Maybe a little touch on Candy's, following on in. Great bull. Got a lot for that. Got a bull closer. Knocked one back to kind of help because they didn't have anything behind. Cheryl's down a couple here. Really needs to be up and positive and through. Almost like two bulls or a jack, and getting some kind of action would be helpful. Even if she hit her own, it'd help. She's just going to put it on behind. It stays on the green. But Rachel's probably doing the same thing, just kind of coming into her own on that backhand like she did before. Even if I prefer her personally to keep that same weight because she hit that bull. So that same weight should float about a yard behind, and that would be a good position. That's okay. I prefer her to be behind because it's set up as a punch head. See what she's calling for is to come through and be through it. And Becky's got no problem with coming through positivity here. She needs kind of action with two down. That's why it'd be nice if Rachel would have been, had her 2 yards to where she was and be behind that jack, behind it. Same weight as her first one would have been fine. All right, here's Becky. Again, trying to get a piece of this head. One of these bulls just kind of missed her line. Weight's not bad. Didn't mind it and stayed up. But she was not very close with her line. Right, hopefully Janice, again, I think it's the best place to be a yard through, just behind. You're holding two already, so you don't really need, and you're a little vulnerable in the back, so you really need to kind of be playing into and through this head a little bit. Yeah, that's good weight there. Yep. Yeah, that's good position there. Prefer being between the two pink bulls, but that's okay. At least the weight was good. And Becky just really wants that she can either hit, and it's the inside between the two black bulls is good. Either hitting the second shot bull, hitting the jack and dragging it to theirs. The inside half of that black bull will be good as well to get her shot. So there she comes. Just a little too high. Probably too heavy, frankly. I think that was a good line. She just needed to take a little weight off so it would have a little more bend. So again, Anne's telling Janice she was 4 feet through, and personally I think that would be fine. Just needs a little more grass, and it's okay. At this point, if you're them, you're holding two. You just want to prevent the big numbers. I mean, it's not a win by 20. You just need to win. See, this is what happens. She's 4 feet through, and it happens even to a great like Janice, where she needed to take 4 feet off, and she took off 3 yards, when she would have better served to keep the same weight and just be a little higher. So while they're crossing over, found that the visitors got 2 more in the 5th, so they're up 6-2 over Cook in the championship flight semifinal. Again, we'll see one of those two teams after this one. With Joanne Hedgepeth and Mare Beath, and Cindy Cook and Melanie Visner are the skips in those two matches going on right now. Here's Rose. I think, again, this is a good test for her to do this kind of positive shot. You're pretty much end to end. Trying to come all the way through the head, trying to get a piece of this head, ideally knocking the jack back to her partner Betsy's 2 bulls in the back there. And she didn't get this down very good at all. Looks like she put a little flip on it, and it's going to miss narrow. Yeah, not bad weight. I mean, just 2 feet through. I think she just kind of let off on it a little bit. I think Anne's going to try. Personally, I think she'd be well served to just leave the head alone and just come around and cover those 2 back bulls. At worst, she could also just kind of draw another. And she's come up short. I don't think she wanted that. All right. So here's Rose, going to try it again. I mean, nice and firm through. That was a better stroke, it looked like. Let's see if she gets the target this time. Close. Just missing. I mean, they're checking this one bull to see if it's out. It really doesn't matter. If anything, it would have been better to check it before this last one, but I mean, this really doesn't matter. If I was Anna, I would just. All right, getting Rose's first one out now. All right, and now just looking for a draw. Now it doesn't matter, just trying to draw one within 2 feet, see if you can get a third. Pretty good effort, just a little heavy. All right, should be 2, but I'm gonna wait to get the official. Yeah, 2 it is. 2 more for Team Nunes. And we're at the halfway point of this match. 11-3 after 7. So thank you again to the sponsorship from Arrow Bowls. Same line every time. Steve Normonte is running the camera, and Gary Barnes, our producer here, running the board, and Scott Roberts doing the announcing. But again, big thank you to Arrow Bowls for sponsoring us. All right, they've gone a little shorter again in this 8th end. It seems to be what they're going for the most part, is I think. And Nunes' team has been going relatively short, medium, whereas Selby's team has been going medium, long. But they've been keeping the mat in about the same spot, so they've been not really adjusting what the line's going to be. So, frankly, if I was Nunes, I wouldn't be doing anything either with it. But I really think Selby should be changing that mat length. I think it's time to start doing something different. All right, here's Candy second. Good first bowl by Betsy, just behind. Candy, see if she can make an adjustment to her line and her weight, just a little short. Betsy, again, I would just do the same thing. No need to change anything. Don't try and take any weight out. Don't try and correct your line. Just try and put one right next to that first one. It's a pretty good bowl. Yeah, I think she's done that. Yeah, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see. We got another update. Visitors got 2 more in the 5th. They're up 6-2 over Cook. And the other second flight semi Hall is over Santos 6-1 after 6. And in the third flight final, Stewart is over Wright 7-5 after 6. And here's Rachel. First bowl, just a little bit behind and offline. Still a lot of room to draw. I'm not totally sure who's holding. Here's Rose. There's Cheryl. Pretty good bowl there. Nice bowl by Cheryl Barkovich. All right, Rachel had pretty good weight. Maybe 2 feet through. Just needs to make a small correction, preferably on just the line. Yeah. See if she can get past Cheryl's. Yeah, she would have been better off just stick on the weight. Again, sometimes you just overcorrect when you don't need to. Cheryl just wants the same kind of thing. Drew shot the last time. Just the same bowl. And pretty good bowl there. And she had a little bit. That's not the end of the world. All right, here's Janice. Yeah, just kind of missed the line here. And the weight. Almost looked like a little deceleration. Not one of her better efforts. Becky. Still room to draw in this hand. It's almost a question of who's going to get there again. I mean, Cheryl having one. Well, Becky's kind of closed the hand out a little bit. It's going to look a little ugly from the mat. And a little discussion here as to which hand to play. I think Janice opted to switch hands. She wasn't particularly close to the first one, so trying to get a push up. Don't know what exactly the result is. Rose is having a look. Interesting choice. Opted for the promotion with Becky getting in the way there. Don't think it was enough to get shot, but we'll see. Becky just trying to get around her arm. She's done that. And she's going to sit in this little pouch here. Yeah. A lot of pretty good bowls in the head. One of the tighter heads, not a lot of loose ones. Yeah, it's trying to kind of get an idea of who's holding. So Janice had kind of popped that bowl up to try and get a little closer and see if she can get it past closer to home. That Cheryl's bowl was. So let's see if Ann might just do the same kind of thing and see if she can go forehand with the. Yeah, she is. Gonna go forehand. See if she can do some more promotion and push some of those up. And they don't need to move much. So you just want to be nice and firm and come into the pile, but she's gonna hit this front one. Yeah, she hit into Janice's. So, I mean, again, it's kind of one of the things. I mean, Ann put it down pretty good, but you know, one short bowl can wreck a bunch of others. And Rose is just on the draw here, which is her strength, and she has had a lot of opportunities to draw. Just taps into Becky's. Don't think it put it in. Yeah, there might be a hole there, but Ann's just going to try the same thing and just see if she can get around those bowls and just try and get a little promotion. She doesn't need to move it by much. Just needs to cut the corner here and then come into it, and it just kind of hung out. She kind of was worried. I think she had hit Janice's, so tried to take a little more grass and just took a lot more grass. Rose just needs probably just the same bowl. I think she hit into Becky's. And even though they're telling her you need to add weight, I don't think she does. I think she just hit into Becky's bowl, and she could just do the same thing. Just needs to split those two. And again, but because she was told to take some, to make a weight change, and she just came up short. Yeah. All right, we'll see how the measure goes. Again, all these little ones favor Team Nunes because they have such a big lead. Being up 8 with 7 to go, they can afford to give up one here and there. With the way it's been playing out, they're going to be trading and going halvesies. Then that'd be fine with them because they got those two big ends. Guess they didn't like Janice's measure, so Becky wants to do it herself. Wonder if we're going to get an umpire here. We'll see. You got it, Gary? All right, umpire's called, so Gary's going to do it. One of these days, he'll let me do it. Then I could get out of the chair. Figured this was close. It looked like it was close. And you see the ladies doing the proper thing of just kind of pushing all the other bulls out of the way. They left that one bull there because it might be pushing that one in. So, and also they need to kind of get out of the way. I mean, Candy should be, they should all be leaving him alone. Once you call the umpire, it's over. Again, really the proper etiquette. I mean, you got Becky and Candy kind of watching, but they're really technically not supposed to. They're supposed to be just kind of going away. And Candy's kind of doing that now. And once you call an umpire, then it's it. You're not supposed to watch. So, all right. So it's ends up being that Cheryl's bull was closer. So that's one more for Team Selby. So they'll take another bite of the elephant, but they're starting to run out of time. So there have been 8 ends played, and both teams have won 4 ends, but it's 11-4 on the scoreboard, and that's what matters. So Nunes 11, Selby 4. I'm going to see if they're going to try and do something different. Yeah, they're just, I don't know. It's not like you're out drawing this team. I think you're better served by pulling that mat up, changing something, because they've been keeping the mat. You know, the mat's been pretty much within a yard at most of the tee. I think, given that you kind of need a number, you really need to get them off if you can. I think you'd be better served to try something. I mean, unless you're 7 down with 6 ends to go, so you could say, well, we can get trying. I mean, even if they get ones the rest of the way, which is all they've ever gotten, then you still lose. And it doesn't really matter if you lose by 20 if things go horribly wrong, or if you lose by 1, it's the same result. So. Betsy with a okay first bowl. I mean, she has good lines, she's just short. Really not what you prefer to be a yard through again, rather than 4 feet short. Yeah, see, even this is interesting. So which would you prefer to have? I mean, Candy's a healthy 2 yards through. I'll keep an eye on those 2 bulls and see which ends up being better at the end. You got Betsy's, it's about a yard short, and Candy's is about 2 yards through. And Betsy put another one in. So now Candy can just drop the weight. Line's pretty good. You can make a small adjustment. You need a little more than that. Only took off a couple feet, and she needed to take off a couple yards. But still, that's all right. Good position, and she knows she's got excellent draw bowlers behind her, so it's not the end of the world. All right, see if Cheryl, who's ended up with shot last time, can draw some in. These look like a pretty good bull here. And pretty good opener. Should be holding 3 now, but Rachel's been pretty solid this whole match. Yeah, really nice by Rachel. Just a really solid bull there. They have 1.5 feet behind. Cheryl, I still think, is better served by just trying to do the same thing. Just, you're 2 feet behind, you're better off just try and be 2 feet behind again. Just try and do the same bull. And not far behind it. Nothing wrong with that. And again, same thing for Rachel. You're a foot behind. No need to be pure. Just get another one. Just do the same thing. Much easier to do that than to try and make some kind of infinitesimal adjustment. Yeah. Don't know if she tried to adjust or not, but I mean, it's a yard off of what she had thrown the first one. She didn't need to have any adjustment at all. So, all right, Becky's going to try and, I think, shoot the same gap and try and come between these two bulls. Just a nice little draw here. She could also afford to be a little bit over and see if she can hit jack or bull. I think she's missed the line. She's done it just a few too many times, Becky. It's just really kind of gone off her line. All right, here's Janice. And forehand, pretty clean draw. Holding one already. Nothing in the way on the forehand. Yeah, just a little heavy. A couple yards probably. Oh, I'd see if Becky can have a little bit better stroke here. I think she's trying to kind of come through either chop lie here maybe. I think she was trying to come cross head and with weight, trying to hit that out, but I think that's a little too much weight for that shot. I just don't think it's necessary. It worked out because she hit that one solid, and but I don't even think that was the target. And Janice with good weight just kind of missed the line. The weather's just been interesting. It just kind of, the sun comes out and it's nice, and they think, hey, welcome to Southern California. And then all of a sudden the Seattle weather comes in, and we get these clouds and drops 10 or 15 degrees. There's not supposed to be any smoking in the park, and I think I'm getting a contact high sitting here. I don't think it's your aftershave, Gary. That's the... Yeah, don't waft it over to me. Smelling a little Mary Jane. Not supposed to be any smoking at all in the city. It's a Laguna Beach rule. But, okay, here's Rose. Oh, it's over there somewhere. Yeah, good weight. Really nice bull. Still not shot though. Right hand. Just really wanting to draw. Just trying to get to. Just a little short. Maybe 2.5 feet. Well, it's funny because we keep having this little dance of the ladies don't want to stand in the line so that they can see their target, but we also don't want them to stand in the camera. So they're all standing in a row now. See if Rose can make her adjustment. Right was really good. So we keep that same weight, just kind of add. Yeah, just kind of hung out, just short. And if anything, it gives Ann a little guide. Just needs to add, maybe a yard. Again, Ann doesn't have to make anything happen. It's okay for her to miss short. But given that she was right on the line and just needs to add a couple feet, it wouldn't shock me if she just stunned this. Yeah, there it is. Yep. That is the reason why she's a world champion.
I think she's done that before.
They got at least 2 out. I'm trying to eyeball and see if that's it. I think it's kind of Ann's bowl they're measuring against 3 others. So. Just two. So two more for Nunes. They're up 13-4 after 9. 5 ends to go. And a 9-point lead. And just really solid play up and down the line from everybody on Team Nunes. Got an update that Mayor Beath is up 6-3 over Joanne Hedgebeth after 7 ends in our championship flight. We'll see one of those teams in the finals in the championship. 2025 Southwest Women Open 4s. Day 2. See, they're keeping the mat exactly where it needs to be because they're very much outdrawing their opponents. I mean, Team Selby is just scratching and clawing just to get one. And Team Nunes will play that game all day long with the 9-point lead. I mean, Team Selby needs to get 5 2s here to win. And they haven't got one yet. They won 4 ends, all ones. Candy a little short. Betsy. Decent weight and off the line. I wonder if something's going on. To miss the line that bad when you're getting down to, when you're getting to 8 and 10, you should really have the line, especially when the mat hasn't been changing. You really should know what it is by now, I would think. Candy just needed to add a yard, and she's done exactly that. Great bowls. Great building off the first bowl. First bowl, you'd prefer not to be short, but then she made a great correction and came right around it, and so you like the result. See if Betsy can get a nice stroke and put it on the line. Not far away here. Nice bull there. Good bull there. Probably taking a shot. Nice little correction. There's Rachel. Just looking for something similar here. Trying to draw and get all the way to it. Just a little short. I'll bet a yard. And here's Cheryl. Just kind of trying to wedge it around everything. Maybe a yard 4 feet through. Again, that's probably the only line, even though you got Candy kind of peeking out on that side. But Rachel's definitely the draw line here. Just Rachel looking to just add a yard, tap her on, finish all the way behind. Yeah. Pretty good bull there. Tap Betsy's. Don't know if it moved Betsy's out. And here's Cheryl again. Just trying to do a correction. Oh, good bull there by Cheryl. Nice bull there. Should be shot. Might be 2. I think there's probably be a little bit of a pressing weight here. Just trying to change things up. You got a lot of bulls that you can use. Really want to get some kind of action here. Tipping on Rachel's in would be great. Look at that shot. Wonderful bull there. Great bull by JB. Again, when your front end is giving you bulls to work with and a lot of bulls in the head, then it gives you a lot more options for the back end to make use of those bulls. I think Becky's probably going to try and play. Yeah, looks like she's going to play this little. Just trying to get to the shot ball there. Kind of really using like a jacker bull shot. Just a little narrow. Ooh, interesting. You can see her switching hands. Yeah, hands having her switch now that she's holding. And just have a draw. Even coming up high, yeah, you could see to take away the jack movement, catch her. anywhere inside that. She wants anywhere inside that purple bowl in the pile. But again, she played one on the other hand, so now she's playing this hand. Let's see what she can do with it. Just a little short. Becky's kind of got a mess. There's a lot of balls that are not finishing kind of in the line. I mean, they're definitely down. Right. Let's see what happens. She get the inside. Nope, hits that square. I think she added to the count anyway. So again, we keep crossing over. I mean, there's a lot of pretty good bulls in the head, but it just seems to more often than not be favoring Team Nunes. If anything, you know, just one. And right now, it's like that's the upside is when you keep putting bulls in the head and bulls in the head, then it's harder to get a big number against you when you're putting a lot of bulls in the head. You know, as long as you're paying attention and keeping your eye on things. All right, here's the end. I think she's just trying to look and draw or cover a corner or something. Yeah. So again, she errs. How does she miss? She misses where she's not doing any damage. You know, she missed high, and she doesn't need to make anything happen. She doesn't have to. She can afford to miss. Rose really can't. You know, that's nothing against her. Just the scoreboard. It's 13-4. You've got 5 ends to go, and you're down 1. In Ann's case, she's up 1. So I don't have to do anything. I'm just going to stay away. Don't want to make a conversion. Make it easier for your opponent. All right, here's Rose. Probably looking to see if she can promote Cheryl's or Becky's up. It's just a little high. I don't think this is going to make it all the way around. Just going to tip that ball, but it floats to the back. See, Ann doesn't want to make that shot for her. And yeah, she already had in mind what she was doing. She's just going to keep going to the backhand and just probably narrow this one up a little. Yeah, what she did, but she just happened to kind of get wrecked on Janice's there, so. All right, Rose is going to have a little look-see of how she's going to make something happen. Okay, here's Rose trying to make something happen here. I think she's still trying to get the promotion on either making use of Becky's in the front there on this hand or just trying to promote Cheryl's purple bowl, but I think she's high again and kind of short, frankly. When you're down, you got to be up. I mean, it's just another end. That's one for Nunes, and it just makes it that much harder. So now they got a 10-point lead, 14-4 after 10, 4 ends to go. It's scheduled for 14, but we'll see if it actually ends up going that far. And the winner of this game will go into the second flight final against either Hall or Santos. All right. Jack is down. Again, they're sticking to this kind of shorter medial length here. Candy with another ball in the head. Very much jack high, just behind. There's Betsy. I'd like to see Betsy get a little bit better with her line. Her line seems to be been a little shaky. Well, it's okay if you grab the jack and take it back. I mean, frankly, she was pretty narrow, but I don't know if that was necessarily her plan. That'll work. And Candy should be playing through then both bulls. Ideally, she'd want to add to at least a yard. I mean, she's about 4 feet through. She probably wants to be about 2 yards added to this to make sure that she gets behind and sets things up better for the people behind her. This is pretty good here. Nothing wrong with that. And again, even though you would say, well, she shouldn't be playing that hand, but she's been playing the hand the whole time. So just best to just stick with it and see what you get from it. Betsy wants just to do the same kind of thing. I guess she's hopefully just not tapping into that front bowl. And she got a little piece of it, but she was very, very heavy. Rachel's going to go to this other hand now. See, that's the thing, is you can stick with one hand and then have your partner pick you up behind you. And then they get 2 shots at it. They can play one hand and then adjust. So let's see what Rachel does. She looks pretty high here. Managed to hit Candy's. Got a little fortunate there. I don't think that was the plan. All right. Cheryl going to the forehand. Let's take lots of grass. Just try and push in Betsy's if you can, or slip through everything. Yeah, pretty good opener there. Rachel wants to clamp this down. Keep that same weight and just kind of narrow up your line. She really got to get out there. This is not far away here. Yeah, it's a good spot. Pretty good bull there. Let's see if Cheryl can make a small correction, or if she's just going to do the same thing. I mean, I think really just the weight's fine, and just maybe a touch more grass to see if she can get into the pink bowl in front that's theirs, or float her around clean. Yeah, this is really nice there. Probably, yeah, I was going to say, Anne's calling for Janice to come around. You got your own bull in front. And saying, come through, be positive. You got that little wall there, those 2 bulls that you can make use of inside of that bowl, where it'll hit and stick and come around to their jack. You also got the jack clean that you can get. Trying really hard here. Good ball. Rose is taking a look to see. I think they're probably holding 1. Let's see. Down 1 in a measure. That seems kind of shocking to me. From this angle, it doesn't look like it, but if anything, I would think they would be up 1 in a measure. All right. Anyways, well, Becky's wanting to play 2 of those pink and purple balls. This is pretty good. Is she going to make it all the way? Yeah, it's good effort. Yeah, same thing, he says. Even though it's not as good because that green ball kind of takes away the wall, but she's got room to kind of come inside. As long as she's around the green, it should be good. She's going around the green and come to the purple ball, or the jack is good. Yeah, hit her own. A little heavier than she probably wanted, but yeah, again, Rose has got the right call here and play on that forehand. She got all 3 of those balls, the green, the pink, and the light purple, all theirs. Just trying to promote any little bit. She didn't get this down good, I think. I think she's going to be narrow. Looks like she scuffed / bounced it. Ian's taking a look to see. Ian's pretty sure they're down 1. Looks like Ann said they're down 1, but again, they get a 4. They were up 10 with 4 ends to go, when one's very much in the budget. But they do have options. The main thing is you don't want to push those bulls in. So I think she'd be better. I mean, even if you're coming through with that, now it's a little different. I mean, it was one thing when you have Janice doing it, but now when you're down to your last 2 bulls and you're just down 1, you just don't want to make this any worse. Go down 1. Who cares? Better than down 2 or 3. But she probably is just going to do a clean draw. If she finishes narrow, it's okay as long as she hits the inside half of the green bull. Yeah, she's just tried to opt for the clean draw, and it's Nunes, so she did it. Probably within 6 inches. Pretty sure that shot. Rose really shouldn't be doing anything different. She should be playing what she's been calling for everybody else. Keep doing the forehand and just trying to push the green. Any of those 3 bulls, that green, that pink, that light purple, or hitting hands out, any of those is a good result for Rose and team. Should be, a couple yards through, because it can't stay the way it is. They're down, probably just down the 1, so. All right, see if Rose has got the momentum to change some things in the head. It's a nice try. I think she could afford to be a little more forceful. I think she had the line, but just a little shorter than I think she should be. And Janice just said, man, do the same thing. I really don't think they have a ton of danger around. They've set up the head pretty nicely. And can we afford to be a little short here? But probably just thinking the same thing, especially her bull's in a good position. If she comes up and touches it, just going to sit there. All right, now to Rose. They're really running out of time here. I mean, they're scraping and clawing again to try and see if they can just get 1, and they're 1 down. All right, here comes Rose. I just don't think this has got the weight. Not the weight she wants. This might even be short. She needed to be 2 yards through with that, and it's just not going to do it. So, 1 more for Nunes. Something for Rose to work on is kind of, if you're going to skip, you got to have those weighted shots. You got to play those overweight shots and learn how to play them. You can't just be drawing. So it's 15-4 after 11. See if I can get some updates on some of the other scores. This one's kind of getting out of hand here. So in the 3rd flight final, Stewart and Wright are tied 10-10 after 10. In the other 2nd flight semi, Hall and Santos are tied 9-9 after 10. In the championship flight, Cook is leading over Visner 10-6 after 8, and Beath is leading over Hedgepeth 8-3 after 8. So thanks to Kelly Warren, our roving reporter. All right, it's 15-4, 11-point lead, 3 ends to go. Wouldn't shock me. I mean, the ladies seem to have a tendency to play to the better end, but if it was me and I lose this end, I'd be shaking hands, I think. Played 11 ends, you'd won 4, but all with 1s. Anything with the multiple has been Team Nunes. All right, Candy, not exactly her best effort, but left the power over for Betsy. See if Betsy can walk in. Decent position. Again, the sun started peeking out a little bit, so we're actually getting a nice view, and you can see the beautiful ocean. A nice shot of the Pacific behind the ladies here from this side. Candy with a nice bull here. That's what you want your first one to be like. That's really, really good. Betsy can make a small adjustment here. Just a little short. Yeah, just not. You need numbers. You're not going to get a number by rolling them a yard short. All right, here's Rachel. Another solid bowl. Just, there's just no weaknesses on the team. I mean, all four of these ladies have played well. They've all had their periods where they've missed a little, but I mean, it's very rare if they miss two bowls. Very rare. If anything, they may miss one occasionally, and it just led to them having more bowls in the head, and it's led to an 11-point lead after 11 ends. Cheryl's just been really on fire the last few ends, so she's really been playing well, which is what you like to see. I mean, after you've played so many ends, you really should know, and especially with the mat not moving, you really should be striping it. It should be your best because you've had a lot of ends to try it. Yeah, Rachel with a little bit of it. I think she had corrected, but just needed a little bit on the line to get around that pink one in front. Cheryl, I think, it knocked it right in her way, so she might have to switch. But she can keep her weight. That's the main thing. And Cheryl with another stunner. Just been bowling really, really well the last few ends. All right, here's JB looking to be a little pushy and positive into the head. Just kind of missed. I mean, again, even two's in the budget, but, they got an opportunity. They got decent bowls around it. They can afford to be positive. So, and Becky's just probably looking to draw and just kind of come up to Cheryl's. Just a little tap. Anything, just, it really should be just a thinking draw. She doesn't really need to do anything crazy. Just there, really far too heavy for a draw there. That's kind of the weight that Janice should be playing, frankly. Just trying to chip any of those. Just wants to split these two. Yeah, it's kind of a promotion. Got a bowl in the head, but kind of push Betsy's up. I don't know if it's might be 3 now. I really could use Becky to get one around to Rose's toe that she's given her the target on. Dropping multiple yards here. Yeah, it's a good bull there. Really nicely done by Becky. Great adjustment. Might be 4 now. It's at least 3. Ann has been put to the test too much. If anything, it's, maybe at worst she's been at 1 down. Now it's the first time she's been multiples down. And again, it's an odd thing. It's like, well, we're up by 11. I mean, even if the 3 stays, it's 3 is in the budget. But, I mean, you've got opportunities. You can afford to be. They got lots of bulls around the general area. It's, they've got back bulls. Wouldn't shock me if Ann took a run at this. She can really target any of the head. I'm going to go on the forehand here. Just what's anything underneath that black bull is a good shot. Yeah, it's nice and positive here. That's what I expected. And I just kind of cruised around. Even when she misses, she hits. So just trying to draw, just to drive and see if she can come with weight and plow through the head and change things up. She ends up getting a chop lie for a toucher. Even when it's wrong, it goes right. Life is good for Ann Nunes. You call that shot, Ann? Ann said, yeah, she definitely called that shot. Okay, sure. I'll make sure everybody knows at home. Now the shoe's on the other foot. Rose wants to come through and be pressing weight, but to hit the target. Yeah, what are you going to do for an encore here, Ann? Problem is she's holding one, but they don't have a lot of position right at the head. They got it all around it, but not at the head. So better just leave it all alone. It's a good opportunity to just kind of throw a blank, just stay away from it, put something behind off on the side. Again, like I was saying earlier, sometimes you just need your skip to make, just needs to make a couple shots, a couple conversions. It's not necessarily what Ann was finally put to the test to do something, and it wasn't exactly plan A, but it worked. And Rose is going to try it again. Just a little too tentative. A little too tentative there. So there'll be one more for Nunes. So it's 16-4. I wonder if they're going to keep playing or not. I think all the other games are pretty close that we've got on the green. Looks like we're going to go one more. I don't see anybody. I mean, they're up 12, so that's 2 6s that Selby will need to get in order to tie. But it looks like we're going to keep going. I don't know if they're having a discussion or not about it. Kenny's not exactly racing for the mat. I think they were just checking the scoreboard. Guess we're going to keep going. So, chip in the chair, I guess. If there's bowling to be done, they want to do it. So, with the score being 16-4, Team Selby has to get at least a 4 on this end. Because if they get a 3, the best they can do is have it be 16-7, and that's not enough with only 8 bowls to try and even tie the game. So that's the magic number, is 4. Anything other but 4 or more for Selby, and then should be the last stand mathematically. So Candy with a hell of a start. And again, the big thing you want to do is make sure you're in this position is if you're Team Selby, you want to try and get everything behind and at or behind the jack, because the only way to get a 4, I mean, short bowls are not going to get you a 4. You're going to have to be through and behind at the jack. And consequently, if you're Team Nunes, then you want to have bowls kind of all around, kind of spread them out, keep them from having big pockets. So with one in the back and saying, okay, drop the yard and just try and give me one near the jack here if you can. But I think she would better serve to just kind of keep doing the same thing, because this is what you're kind of getting is a little bit of a shorty from Candy. Pretty good ball by Betsy. I don't really want to try and get a pocket. I mean, you really want to try and do as many bowls as you can, as close as possibly to each other, to try and, like we talked about, that little square, like a little pouch, or a triangle, or a square, or something where you can get a lot of bowls together. That's how you want to have that square be as close as possible, so that the window for somebody to try and block or prevent you from doing it to be as small as possible. So you kind of have them a little bit spread out here. So here's Rachel trying to kind of match the one there. That's okay, pretty good bowl. So again, if the line is right now, if it's at the jack, I mean, Rachel's kind of got second, which is at most a yard through. All right, here's Cheryl. Cheryl's been really, really good the last few ends. I don't think she'd like this one, though. But she's really, really been on it the last few ends. They haven't just haven't scored. It was just Janice and Ann have been turning things over. And they really should have got paid off on the last end. But Ann with that kind of got a fortunate result off her weighted shot that she played. So not only to cut it down, which is I think all she was trying, but actually take a shot. Whereas Rachel just wanted to make a small correction on the weight. She's done it. That's well done. Got to be able to do that at the elite level. Take a yard off, and she took off 4 feet. Pretty well done. Enough to take a shot. There's Cheryl switching hands. Again, another good bull there, but I know it's only good enough for a couple seconds. So, yeah, I mean, the main thing, you just want to really got to take the blinders off if you're, a skip, or if you're calling the head here. You really want to make sure that there's no big number anywhere. Where are they getting 2 or 3? Where's anything being built up? Because you don't. And do we only have one bull in the head? Those kind of things. That's the one thing you also don't want to do is if they make a mistake and leave one short, is to push it back up into the count potentially. So that was not ideal for them. All right, there's Becky. Just a touch on the jack, but turned it over for them. I think Ann said that they're 1 down now. But, there's also, I think so Ann's trying to get one, but right now Team Selby's holding 2 in the back, so that's another thing to keep an eye on as this goes. Because if you're holding the back and the one you have in your hand, then that's a way to get to 4. If you got 3 in the back and then 1, then you could do it. All right, there's Janice, and Janice just closed that door right there. That was one of the ones they needed. They needed something in the back, and preferably one at the jack, but that drew him away. I mean, Ann was asking for one at the jack, but I think she's better served, frankly, for getting that one behind where Janice put it. See if Becky can take a little weight off here and get another one at the jack. No, a little bit through. And it's not really helping anything. I mean, they do have a tiny little triangle there for 3, but man, that's going to be near impossible to try and get a jack and get one over there with 2 bulls to go. I mean, Rose is maybe looking at it to see, but that'd be a hell of a shot. One shot if Ann was just trying to draw here. She could also come on her backhand to try and take that away. Just drawing to kind of where Rose is standing on the side there. Take that little tiny triangle of 3 away. And she's just going to have to just draw. Just got to touch it. Candy's in front. And rocked in. Don't know if it's holding or not. It's close. And I think it might be in the front. It might be taken away. I mean, Rose is looking for a little. See if she can get a 4. I mean, really, that's the only one I see is if she comes through on the forehand, tries to get the jack and stays with it and gets it all the way to there. They're not even looking there, though. I mean, they really have no numbers right where they're at. And again, Team Selby being down 12 with 2 to go, have to get a 4 here to keep this match even mathematically possible. Anything else, and they lose. And plus points do not matter, just who wins and who doesn't. So, I mean, and Becky calling for a draw, and I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish there. I mean, unless you're trying to pump one of these bulls up in front and see if you can work it all the way in and have yours come in too and try and get a multiple that way. Okay, well, they got 2 next to each other over there. mean, unless they'd have to get rid of 2 bulls in order for it to help them. So I think Ann's just kind of rolling a bull here. This man hits the inside. It really wasn't close. Still managed to help their cause out. And again, they need 4 somehow. It's a measure for shot even, and they need 4. Again, I still think I don't see how you're going to do it. You have to hit the inside half of that purple ball, get to the jack, and drag it back into the back right where they've got a corner of 3. And I don't think they even see it. Becky's just looking for a draw. Again, I'm not sure what we're trying to accomplish here. They're all saying, "Oh, stay out of my way so I can make sure I can get my 1." I just don't. I'm confused. I guess sometimes it's just like, well, we're just playing it out. This doesn't look particularly close. Well, they'll figure out what the score is, and then, yeah, they're hugging on the one end. Rose is giving Ann a hug, so they're definitely over. So I guess they're just trying to say, well, look, I just wanted to try and get this one. This is all pretty much academic. The win's going to be for Team Nunes. And Nunes, Janice Bell, Rachel Marcus, and Candida Fazio are going to win this one. They're going to be in the final for the second flight. And third place finish, decent tournament for Rose Selby, Becker and Ali, Cheryl Barkovich, and Betsy Larson. Unfortunately going 0-2 today after a 2-2 day. 2 more is the final for Ann, so they'll win this one 18-4 as they shake hands. And I know that they still have many ends to go, I think, on a couple of the semis that we have for the championship flight. So it's probably going to be at least a half hour before we get to the finals of this one. But probably tune in, I would think, in about a half hour from now if you happen to be watching live. And then we'll put everything up. And I know once they finish, they're probably going to give 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll start the last one. So, but thank you all for watching, and we'll thank you again to Aero Bulls for their sponsorship, and we'll be back in, let's say, a half hour or so with the championship match for the 2025 Southwest Open Women's Fours. All right, thank you all.